Hello everyone, my name is Adam. I'm a physiotherapist at New Forest Physiotherapy Clinic, but I'm also a member of the Airborne Forces. What I want to do is a series of videos to help people who are thinking of joining Airborne Forces, but with the insight that I've got as a physiotherapist, as well as being a serving member of the Army Reserve, and having spent many years in the Army, I think I've got some good hints and tips for people who are thinking of joining up. So, a bit more about myself. I did P Company back in 1996, and my Bryce Norton parachute course back in that year as well. I've served all over the world. I've been to the jungle, the desert, the Arctic, all sort of environments, as well as being on active duty in Afghanistan. Over those years, I've trained with Airborne Forces and done various selection courses, so I understand what it takes to become a member of Airborne Forces. And over the next few videos, I'm going to just explain, give some hints and tips for anyone who's thinking of joining Airborne Forces, what you need to do in order to prepare yourself for that. And by Airborne Forces, I'm talking about the parachute regiment and the all arms of the parachute regiment, so be that engineers or medics, and the other Airborne Forces being Special Forces, particularly Special Force Reserve. So, first question I'd like to pose is, what do you think is the most important thing that anybody joining or hoping to join Airborne Forces, what's the most important quality that individual needs? And it probably isn't what you think. It's not physical fitness. That's an important quality, but I don't think it's the most important quality. Actually, the most important quality is mindset. And I know from personal experience that that's the case, because many people who are significantly fitter than myself failed selection for Airborne Forces. I was never the fittest person, not by a long shot. However, I obviously had a quality that just would never give up, would never stop, and that was what got me through the course, not my level of fitness. I would actually argue that if you're extremely fit and you're not used to being exhausted and continuing to go, then you may well find doing selection for Airborne Forces possibly harder than someone who's less fit like myself, who's always struggling and sort of persevering and keeping on going when exhausted. Selection is not an Olympic sport. It's an endurance sport. It's not something that you do whilst you've had a good meal, you've had plenty of sleep, you've had your sports massage, you've been prepared for it, you've been preparing for it for months, and then you go out and do your 1 hour event or your 10-minute event, whatever it might be. To get into Airborne Forces, what you need to be able to do is to continue doing what you're doing, even though you're exhausted, even though you think that there is nothing left inside of you. You just keep going despite everything and anything. And I'm going to give you some personal examples of that. And on the log race during P Company, we started off, I think there were 9 of us on that log, and what happens as you race around, the people that are slacking and slowing down, the DS directing staff will give them a warning, put a chalk mark on the back of the helmet, and if they're continuing to slacken and slow down, they actually get taken off that log. And on my log race, of the 9 people, there were only 3 of us left at the end of it. Now, that doesn't mean there's only 3 of us carrying the log, because the DS jump in and replace people that have been taken off. And I did have a chalk mark, but I obviously managed to keep going. In fact, when I got that chalk mark on the back of my helmet, it really gave me the impetus to think, right, Adam, pull your socks up, you've got to keep going here. And it actually helped me having that chalk mark, because I knew that I didn't have another chance. I had to keep going. By the end of it, I actually thought I was going to faint. I didn't faint. Plenty of people do, but I didn't. But I was so exhausted, I thought I was going to faint. I got through it, and I got round. So I'm going to finish this video now. Don't want to make it too long, but really it's just to bear in mind that mindset, and that mindset of I absolutely will not give up. I absolutely will not stop. That's the mindset that you require. That ability to keep going when you're exhausted, when you think that there is nothing left inside of you, and to just keep going and keep enduring. So I hope you found that useful, and I'm going to do another vlog tomorrow on a different subject relating to selection for our airborne forces. Thank you.